So, why does the California Legislature conduct its work in the legislative process in certain specified ways? For example, I'm sure you had to have asked the question more than once, why is the legislature doing something this way? So, here are some examples and what I mean with an explanation. For example, why does the legislature convene a new session in early December but designate the new session as the following 2 years? California's Constitution in Article 4, Section 3A provides in part that the legislature shall convene in regular session at noon on the first Friday in December of each even numbered year, and each house shall immediately organize. Thereafter, the legislature is required to convene on a particular day in early December, even though the session begins in earnest in early January. Why does the legislature choose officers, including even unelected persons, such as the chaplains in the Assembly and Senate? Article 4, Section 7A provides in part, each house shall choose its officers and adopt rules for its proceedings. Therefore, the Assembly and the Senate are actually required to choose their officers and adopt their House and joint rules, which generally occurs on the first Monday in December when they convene a new 2-year session. Why does the legislature publish the Assembly Daily Journal and the Senate Daily Journal, especially when today they're required, due to Prop 54, video and audio tapes of all committee hearings and floor sessions? Well, Section 7B of Article 4 provides in part, each house shall keep and publish a journal of its proceedings. As a result, both the Assembly and Senate are required to publish their respective daily journals. Why are the Democratic and Republican caucuses allowed to meet in private without any real written notice or observation by the public? Article 4, Section 7C4 says, a caucus of the members of the Senate, the members of the Assembly, or the members of both houses, which is composed of the members of the same political party, may meet in closed session. As a result, the four-party caucuses can meet at any time and in any location in private without notice and without any public observation. Why is a bill required to be read 3 times when today we have the internet and other sources to read and hear about proposed legislation? Article 4, Section 8B1 provides in part, no bill may be passed unless it is read by title on 3 days in each house, except that the House may dispense with this requirement by roll call vote in the journal, 2/3 of the membership concurring. As a result, both houses of the legislature are required to read a bill 3 times before that bill can be voted on, unless, as the Constitution provides, that rule is waived by a 2/3 vote of the House. Why are there 2 votes announced on the floor of the Assembly and Senate for a bill that contains an urgency clause? Article 4, Section 8D provides in part that urgency statutes are those necessary for immediate preservation of the public health or safety. And further, in 8D, it says that in each house, the section and the bill shall be passed separately, each by roll call vote entered in the journal, 2/3 of the membership concurring. Therefore, while one vote is taken on the floors of the Assembly and Senate on an urgency bill, the presiding officer actually announces the vote twice, once for the urgency clause's passage and then once for the bill in chief passage. The Assembly Daily Journal and the Senate Daily Journal will note 2 separate votes as well. Why are certain bills passed even after the legislature is scheduled to adjourn on August 31st during the even-numbered second year of their 2-year session? Article 4, Section 10C provides in part that no bill may be passed by either house on or after September 1 of an even-numbered year, except statutes calling elections, statutes providing for tax levies or appropriations for the usual current expenses of the state, and urgency statutes, and bills passed after being vetoed by the governor. So there are 4 of them. Therefore, there are only 5 types of bills that can be considered after midnight on September 1 if the legislature is still in session at that time. Why does the governor have to introduce his budget proposal or her budget proposal by January 10th each year? Article 4, Section 12A provides in part, within the first 10 days of each calendar year, the governor shall submit to the legislature with an explanatory message a budget for the ensuing fiscal year containing itemized statements for recommended state expenditures and estimated state revenues. Therefore, of course, the governor has to propose his or her budget by January 10th, including both the revenue picture and the expenditure side. So the bottom line to my initial question of why does the legislature conduct its business in certain ways? The obvious answer now is because the California Constitution requires it to do so.